Welcome to Free Summits TV. This is Frasier Lind, your host, and today I'm happy to have Dr. Eric Grasser with us. He's a speaker, ambassador, visionary, yogi, father, and one of the world's foremost experts on the integration of Ayurveda and functional medicine. I'm happy to have you on the show today. Eric, how are you?
Glad to be here. Glad to be here, Frasier. Thank you.
So you're co-hosting the Ayurveda Summit, which is running from November 9th to 16th. And I guess the first question our viewers probably have is, what is Ayurveda?
Right.
Most people probably have heard very little about it or even nothing about it.
Sure. Ayurveda is the oldest medical system in the world, coming out of modern-day India. It's a Sanskrit word that means the science or knowledge of life. Ayurveda is part of the Vedic sciences, which include yoga, among other sciences, and these were sciences that were initially taught and passed down through an oral tradition and then eventually written into texts, all of which are in Sanskrit and all of which are in poetry, actually. And Ayurveda speaks about more than just medicine. It talks about how to live in harmony with the laws of nature, is how I like to say it. It talks about how to eat, how to live your life, how to have a daily routine, and then also how to treat imbalances and diseases through a variety of lifestyle, dietary, and medicinal treatments.
That's great. So you're co-hosting the summit with Cate Stillman. Tell us a little bit about how you got connected with her and ended up hosting the summit with her.
Yeah, I first met Cate because she had me on one of her courses, the Living Ayurveda course that she teaches every year, and I was a guest speaker on the integration of functional medicine and Ayurveda. We talked about epigenetics, and so that's how we were introduced to each other. And then I think we had both been thinking about doing an Ayurveda summit for some time, and then I proposed the idea to her, and she said, "Great, I was thinking about doing that too." And now we have a team of two, so it'll be more person power to get this thing online.
Great. So when I first got interested in Ayurveda, it was when I saw John DOUILLARD on the Future of Nutrition conference a couple of years ago. And I was just blown away with everything he was saying and how it tied into both a modern understanding of health and nutrition and the way I understood things at the time. So I noticed he's the first speaker on your list.
Yep.
But I have to say the rest of the people are all new, fresh faces for me. So I'm definitely excited to see what they're all about. Do you have any highlights or people who stand out to you or that we should?
Yeah, so we're so happy to have John DOUILLARD on, and those who register will be able to see his talk right away upon registration. But we have a great lineup. We really have kind of bridged the gap between the Eastern Ayurveda, the traditional Ayurveda as it's being practiced in the East, as well as the modern Ayurveda that's come to the West, because there have been some really interesting adaptations of the ancient wisdom for modern application. We have Dr. VASANT, who was my teacher of Ayurveda, whom I studied with at the Ayurvedic Institute for 2 years, as well as in India. He's just always a joy to listen to, a beautiful poet and beautiful speaker for Ayurveda. We have David Crow, who's a great herbalist and founder of Floricopia, the essential oils company, talking about the more spiritual aspects of Ayurveda. We have people that do Ayurveda as a business, helping enthusiasts of Ayurveda and practitioners to grow their business. We have just a huge list. We have 28 speakers. Robert SVOBODA, who's the first American to get an Ayurvedic doctorate degree back in the 80s, right up to Jessica VELLELA, who's the second American to get an Ayurvedic degree, and she just finished her Ayurvedic school a few years ago and is really doing some interesting stuff. So I think people will just love it. It's both practical information about how to live in harmony with the laws of nature and daily routines and herbs, all the way to the spiritual aspects of Ayurveda, the business aspects. It's really going to be fun.
Sounds great. Well, I'm definitely excited to check it out, and I'm sure a lot of our viewers are too. Again, it's November 9th to 16th, and we'll have the link right below the video to check it out. So thank you for being on with us.
You're welcome.